TZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. This is SportsCenter.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. The Cavaliers have won 15 in a row for the second time this season. Darius Garland with 30 points as the Cavs beat the Nets Tuesday night 109-104. They clinched the Central Division title. Cleveland now a league best 55-10 this season. They're 30-4 at home. ESPN's Field Yates reports the Chiefs restructure the contracts of quarterback Patrick Mahomes and defensive lineman Chris Jones, which opens up almost $49.5 million in cap space. Gonzaga beats 19th-ranked St. Mary's 58-51 to win the West Coast Conference title. The Bulldogs are now 25-8, extending their own record to 18 straight seasons with at least 25 wins.
We aren't a winning school. We are a championship school, and we make legends. Join the Crimson Tide as they look to continue to rise to the top of the NCAA basketball mountain. Every game, all season, right here on your home for Alabama basketball, the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo. I want money! You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to the Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside Joe Hunk here for 2 hours straight of sports talk on the most energetic program here on 97.7 ESPN. Good stuff from Talking Ball just moments ago with Steve and, of course, Drew DeArmond as Scott is out of the box for the time being. He's gone swimming. That's what everybody's saying. I don't really understand it, but Joe, maybe you can throw a little bit more clarity at me.
Yeah, he's up in Indianapolis right now doing the NCAA swimming competition.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what that's about. Yeah, no, that's the reason why he's not here. It's not like he's on vacation. He's not just chilling out or anything. No. He's working. He's doing the NCAA swimming.
Okay, as long as he's working, because you can't take a break, especially not around this time.
Oh no,
I would have to get on to him. Okay, that's like a bandy man move right there.
Do you realize what is going to be like when this show wraps up at 11 o'clock and we have nothing to do the rest of the day?
Oh my gosh, I forget. Well, you say that, but I mean, there's plenty of other things. There's nothing to do in the form of us having to talk on the radio.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so that's the one thing.
Yeah, because 11:45 is when we get the SEC basketball tournament going.
Finally.
And so it's like the rest of our day is we're chill.
It's watching basketball.
It is watching basketball and getting ready for the hectic schedule that was and may be over the weekend.
Oh, the weekend's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be stupid. That's how it's going to be. But it's going to be also very much a lot of fun. Now, there is a lot of stuff going on up in Winchester. Of course, for all of our listeners up in ESPN Winchester, we welcome you into the show as well. And the phone lines, 256-576-97.7. My sister, Joe, she has an art gallery opening, which is going to be so flippin' awesome. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
All right. And I want to make sure I can attend because this is a huge step forward. I've gone to some of her art galleries before, but it was never like her own place. I don't think, at least. But now, she's opening this place up on the square. It's going to be really cool. I can't wait to go and see it. She threw out a date. She was like, it's Saturday. That's when it's going to be open. All right. I was very much looking forward to going to this, and I still am. There's going to be some weather concerns.
There
a
are.
little bit. And also, there's the UAH baseball, the UAH softball, and all of that as well. So I don't know how this weekend's going to go. I think I'm going to be doing some UAH softball on Friday, which will be a lot of fun. Enjoy that time. And then a day prior to that, of course, Thursday, we're going to be with the Huntsville Havoc down in Pelham. So
yes,
hopefully when we're watching this game, everything kind of straightens itself out without me having to really do any extra work. But the Havoc are going to be facing off against the Vipers or something like that. What are they called? The something
the
Valley?
Vipers.
Yeah, the Vipers instead of the Bulls. Are they going to
Wait.
stop doing that?
Okay.
They've been doing this
Okay.
Vipers thing for like the last
Look,
6
man,
home games, Joe.
Every single time, I think that we're all cool. I think that the heat has died down. I thought that the fire has kind of went away and that it's just a little bit of a flame.
The Cahaba Valley Vipers. What is a Cahaba, first off?
Well, Cahaba Valley, that's where Birmingham is. There's a little area of it. It's like the Cahaba River.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, there's the Cahaba River that kind of runs through parts of Birmingham, and you can kind of go canoeing and all that sort of stuff on it. It was a place of interest. Like it's hey, what are some things that you can do around Birmingham?
Yeah.
You can float the Cahaba.
And look, I understand that the Vipers and the Bulls were owned by the same guy.
Yeah,
but I don't know. This feels
he's an
gross.
amazing guy too, by the way.
Oh yeah, because I've even got to meet him. I was a kid. I was a little child. I was a little baby boy.
He
I was a little bit over an embryo, and you were. His employee, I guess. That's pretty crazy to think about. But I mean, to think about a team that is trying to resemble one of the AFL2's most, and AFL at one point, most historic, most classic, most consistent franchises. I don't know. It just makes me feel a little bit uneasy. I love the Vipers, but the Cahaba Valley Vipers down in Birmingham?
See, I saw the video of this when it first happened, and I thought, wait a second.
They're taking our jobs.
Wait a second. That's our thing. Like,
that's Huntsville, born and raised.
I remember the banners. Like, this is what was great. I remember, and this is definitely going to be a talking point during the game now, if that is what they're wearing, is I remember where I was when the Tennessee Valley Vipers won the AF2 championship game. No, and the reason for it is because if I remember correctly, and I've got to close my eyes to think about this, if I remember it correctly, the game started extremely late on August 25th on the day. I cannot remember the year. I want to say it may have been like 2011, maybe like something around there, maybe 2009.
Maybe our listeners will know because, of course, we've got plenty of amazing, loyal fans.
And so I remember the game starting on August 25th and when it happened, I'm watching the game. I remember the restaurant that I was at. We had it up on the TV. We were all watching, and then the event ended. I go back home. I keep watching the game because it was still on, and I couldn't believe I'm sitting here first off and actually watching the Vipers play in a championship game. Yeah. And then they win, and the moment they won, it had crossed over into midnight into August 26th, which is how late this game went because I believe it went into overtime. And the only reason I remember that is because August 26th is my birthday.
Okay.
And so I remember saying Vipers just won the championship on my birthday, and I'll never forget it.
That's pretty sick.
That's the reason I remember it.
I just wish you knew what year it was exactly. And I don't think it would be too hard to find. Well, actually, we've tried to look at some of these AFL2 stats before, and they are actually nearly impossible to find. But regardless to that, I don't know. If I see the Vipers on the ice on Thursday, it'll be intriguing.
It was 2008 is when it was. They were at Spokane. This is the reason why, because it was in Washington. It went into overtime, and the final was 56-55.
It's a common score in the AFL.
Now, here's what was crazy. They have the attendance numbers of this game for this championship.
In Spokane, Washington.
Here
we go.
Which is where Washington State is.
This is the... Wait. Washington State?
Dang it, dude.
Which Washington State are we talking about?
There's only one Washington State. It's the Cougars. It's the Coug. It's Mike Leach. It's Gardner Minshew. Like that. There's only one Washington State. It's Ryan
That was
Leaf.
Located over here in this area?
Oh my heavens.
Are they?
Why are we doing this? So if we go west, and are we ending up in Georgia? Do you know that people were commenting on that during the Havoc Hour last night? Do you realize that when we were talking about us doing this game, all people's like, well, don't let John drive. He'll get you into Georgia before you guys get to Birmingham. Like, how's this going to be working on when you two? Like, that was it. Spokane, Washington. There's only one Spokane. There's only one Washington State.
I didn't know the Cougars were out east.
They're not east.
Oh, so this was all the way out west?
That's why it started late.
That's where I'm trying to get at here, all right?
Oh.
When you said Washington, I remember the Vipers always playing here in the South, the Southeast. I don't remember them ever going out west. That's crazy.
My head hurts.
What was the team out west? I don't think there were any teams out west. Why would they even play it out there?
Why? This we're totally getting derailed on this.
No,
now.
we totally are, but this is something that people need to remember. Because I was young.
It was the Spokane Shock.
Gosh. There was already a shock in the AFL.
No.
It wasn't that shock.
No. The Spokane Shock was the team, and they were in the AF2 in 2008 or 2007 through 2009, which is when they played Huntsville.
Gotcha.
And the Arena Cup 9 is what it was.
What was the attendance?
10,000. 10,000 people
At an AFL 2 game.
were in Spokane, Washington.
A championship game, mind
for
you.
this championship game that happened when Alonzo Nix caught a 24-yard touchdown pass from Tony Colston. Now, this is why this game is so memorable for anybody that was a Tennessee Valley Viper fan. That made the score 54-55. And the Vipers went for 2 instead of going and tying the game. And then Tony Colston ran it in for a touchdown to win the game.
It really brings back my youth hearing about the Tennessee Valley Vipers. Too bad we
need a map for you. Like, we just need to put a map in that studio so that you know, like, where.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're going down 72.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to wrap up the Cahaba Valley Vipers talk.
Are they really doing that?
I don't know if they are. But that was like their last game. They were still wearing those uniforms and they were at home. So we'll have to wait and see. I feel like that'd be the most petty thing to do against the Huntsville Havoc. But either way, I digress. You guys are able to join in.
Oh my God, those uniforms are hideous.
I know. The Vipers were not white and green. They were black and green. That was what made it such a cool colorway. Either way, 256-576-9777, as well as over on WZZN TV, you're able to join in to the chat box in that ecosystem that is our chatters. On top of that, if you guys want some spectacular food, make sure you head on over to 977ESPN.com, click on the zone deals, and you'll be able to get great food. But it's not just great, it's also 50% off. So get yourself some of that over on Big Zone Deals. And on top of that, we got a lot of coverage going on today. So let me make sure you guys know exactly what's happening at 11:30. Be ready, because that's when you're wanting to turn on your apps, when you're wanting to turn on your radios, or when you're wanting to turn on your computers, because we're going to have the SEC tournament coming at you and tip off hopefully starting at 11:45, regardless of that coverage starting at 11:45. So definitely look forward to it, because we got Arkansas face-off against South Carolina to start all of the madness off. And throughout today's show, I do want to predict how this tournament's going to kind of run down, Joe. See how many predictions we're going to get right, because we got to kind of practice for our bracketology that is getting started, because people, soon enough, the bracket challenge is going to be back. And you are going to also be able to hop in on that and fight for supremacy amongst each other. And you know we love to see it from up above, because we're also actually inside of it. I think the only person that's watching from above is Tom, because he's somewhere on a boat right now catching big-ass fish. And he just looks down and sees all these different brackets in the water. And he's like, oh, which one am I going to catch today? Oh, which one I'm going to catch today? He actually caught a pretty big fish, though, Joe. I don't know if you saw that picture. I'll show you.
No, I did not. The only picture I saw of a big fish was Glenn DeTulio's picture that he posted of this massive fish that he caught 2 days ago.
He had to be on the sea.
No, he was not.
He was bass fishing?
It was not on the sea at all.
It was a gar.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely crazy to see how massive this fish was that he caught.
I'll have to definitely take a look at that. And you were talking about Glenn. We were talking about Jen last night because, of course, Stockton Mortgage is this presenting sponsor for the Havoc Hour live from the Iceplex, which is getting some renovations. We'll probably jump on that
massive renovations
throughout the show.
It was hilarious too, because I know I just derailed you. I went around and asked people last night before the show even started, because I get there and I go, okay, look, I saw the news that you guys, you posted on your social media accounts about all the renovations and all the additions and stuff that's happening with the Iceplex. Is that like the first time that the news is getting out of everything that is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And every person I asked was like, I'm not 100% sure, because we've been talking about this for like a year. So I don't know who does and doesn't know the
like who does the social media anyway for our people?
It's like, is this the first time that we've made the announcement? Is this not the first time? Is this wait, who's doing this now? What is this? It's one of those, like, we have everybody in the building that was part of upper management with the Iceplex knew of all the additions that were coming in. It was more of okay, now it is becoming official, because if you did miss it, you can go to the Iceplex. They put out a 3D image of what everything is going to kind of look like. And the Iceplex, as you know it, is about to get expanded on 2 separate sides.
Yeah, it's like it took Viagra or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to expand just in like that, which expands one way. This one's expanding 2 ways. Double. Yeah, exactly. And so what's happening is they are going to be adding 2 new rinks to the Iceplex. So if you drive by on Lehman Ferry, or even if you are at Joe Davis and you see the back of it, they are going to expand on both sides of it, where the rink 1 and rink 2 that are now there are going to be in the middle of the 2 things that are being constructed on each side of them. On the left side, which is going to be closest to Lehman Ferry, they are adding a new hockey rink that is going to be for curling only. See, right now, rink 2, it doubles as the curling rink. What the Iceplex is doing an addition onto the left side that is just for the curling, where you can go, you and your buddies can rent time and rent a lane, and y'all can go curling. But then on the right side, which is closer to like the John Hunt side, this is where they are going to be making like this massive addition to the Iceplex, where they are basically going to be building a brand new competition rink that is going to have new seating. It is going to be, honestly, it'll be a great place for the Havoc if there's ever a conflict with the VBC and scheduling, like the playoffs and that sort of thing. It is going to be something that's going to be very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow night when we're down in Birmingham, and that competition rink that they have down in Pelham. That's going to be similar to that. So you're going to have the right side is going to be expanded into this new, brand new, hockey rink. And then the left side is going to be a huge curling area, so that the middle 2 places are going to be for practices and ice skating and all the other things that you normally do at the Iceplex as well.
Yeah. So now if any of the Birmingham fans want to try and diss you or make fun of the Havoc, just say, my man has 2 rinks.
Yeah.
Remember that? Everyone hates Chris. Yeah. A little deep cut for you.
Yeah. We have a backup rink.
Yeah. We got a whole ass backup rink. You don't even need the main one. The show is always presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, probably doing the roof for that new backup rink. It's going to be really nice. But those are the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. Joe, I want to make fun of the ACC tournament. It is kind of gross, honestly, and looking at the seating for that, it doesn't even compare to the SEC. But I think everybody kind of knows. So let's get on to the other side and beat the crap out of the ACC like it is a dead horse on the side of the road.
So I need you to explain this to me when we come back, because we're getting comments in WZZ and TV chat about the ACC tournament, and I had no clue what it meant until you just brought that up just now.
Yeah.
So explain that when we come back, as you're getting ready for, again, we're only about a little over 2.5 hours away from tip-off in Nashville with the SEC basketball tournament. You'll be able to listen to it on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We'll continue on 97.7 ESPN Winchester, as well as WZZN TV.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hey, do you have heating and air issues as the springtime starts to roll around? Hey, there's just one name you need to know. Talent Heating and Air. Number one heating and air business right here in the Tennessee Valley.
Yeah, we're locally based. If you call, you're going to get somebody based in Huntsville. Mentioned in spring earlier, we can actually do indoor air quality products, so we can help alleviate those allergy problems you're having in your house.
All right, Thomas from Talent Heating and Air, give them the number that when they call, somebody live and local will pick up.
That's 256-503-4490.
And you can always head to the World Wide Web and find Talent Heating and Air, and you guys will still respond.
That's talenthvac.com. If you don't want to talk to a person right away, you can fill out a form on there and get scheduled for a visit.
That's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. It's Talent Heating and Air.
AL certain number 21014.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White, his team takes great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hey, do you have heating and air issues as the springtime starts to roll around? Hey, there's just one name you need to know. Talent Heating and Air. Number one heating and air business right here in the Tennessee Valley.
Yeah, we're locally based. If you call, you're going to get somebody based in Huntsville. Mentioned in spring earlier, we can actually do indoor air quality products, so we can help alleviate those allergy problems you're having in your house.
All right, Thomas from Talent Heating and Air, give them the number that when they call, somebody live and local will pick up.
That's 256-503-4490.
And you can always head to the World Wide Web and find Talent Heating and Air, and you guys will still respond.
That's talenthvac.com. If you don't want to talk to a person right away, you can fill out a form on there and get scheduled for a visit.
That's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. It's Talent Heating and Air.
AL certain number 21014.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A beautiful Wednesday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Plenty of sunshine across the area. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. We're only going to drop into the mid-50s as we head into the overnight, early into your Thursday morning, but we're also going to begin to see an increase in cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley. And then we're going to talk about the opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms through Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Doesn't look like that activity is going to be severe, but understand that rain is going to be in the forecast and a few thunderstorms through much of the day on Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We are your home for March Madness. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello and welcome back in to the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. A whole lot of fun here on a Wednesday edition of the show. Look forward to the second hour because we're going to have the cover five, but keep the dial tuned in because we're about to make some fun of the ACC. Because remember, Joe, whenever Carl Ravitch, he said that the SEC was like 500 against each other, a little bit overrated, all of that stuff. It was the first little hint that people wanted to start saying the SEC was overrated. Joe, I genuinely think that the ACC is sub 500 right now against each other. And I don't even that's not even
That's
possible.
not mathematically possible.
It's not. It's
It's not mathematically possible.
But it seems like that could be the case. I look at half of the league and I'm just thinking these guys probably would be a part of a league that would be just getting one bid. And I don't even know. Like, if obviously Duke's going to be in, Clemson will probably get in, Louisville most likely get in. But if we see a team make a run like we did last year with NC State, we could see an absolutely horrible team make it into the national tournament just because this league is just all over the place. I mean, the only consistent team has been Duke. And the reason why they are held to such a standard right now without having the same difficulty of schedule is the way that they've been able to absolutely obliterate the competition that they've gone up against. And a majority of that has been against ACC teams. Now, of course, you see in the past that they have lost against teams like, actually, they won against Auburn, so that was a big one, but they lost against a Kansas team that at the time was number one in the country. They also lost to Kentucky earlier on. Now, those are those first out-of-conference losses. Those were their last out-of-conference losses. Since then, they've just lost to Clemson. Outside of that, they've done nothing but score and score and score and do really well on defense, but it's because of the strength of their schedule against ACC teams. How did they finish off the season? 97-60 against Miami. Miami is god-awful.
They're the worst team in the ACC.
They're the worst team in the
They
ACC.
are 3-17 in conference.
It's so bad. Did you see earlier on what SMU did to them? I think they put 140 up on them. Like, that's how bad Miami is. And coming into the season, they were supposed to be a little bit decent. Florida State, not much better. Duke will take care of any team in Florida, apparently, unless it's the Gators, which we'll have to wait and see, hopefully, because that would be a great matchup. 100-56 against Florida State. Not even competitive. Oh, Wake Forest. No, Wake Forest they're good, aren't they? 93-60. Not a chance. North Carolina. This is what Alabama and Auburn is right now. 82-69. North Carolina couldn't even hold a candle to them. And this is the second time they played. First time, it was a little bit more competitive. 87-70. Still nothing. So yesterday, the ACC decided to start their tournament. Maybe get a few extra viewers, as everybody is really looking forward to, of course, the SEC tournament. And we got 3 games that would go exactly how you'd expect, Joe. First one was Syracuse versus Florida State. It's a 14 versus a 11 seed. Syracuse got the win 66-62. This is a terrible Syracuse team. And they're able to get the dub in this one. This one was so sloppy and so back and forth. I honestly didn't think it'd get to 60 by each team. Surprisingly enough, it did. Florida State they don't have anybody. Syracuse, on the other hand, has maybe 1 or 2 guys. That JJ kid's pretty good. I think he put up around like 25. But, not anything competitive. There's no NC State here, all right? I wish Syracuse was what they once were. California versus Virginia Tech. This is a 15 versus a 10. Let's just say the 10 lost, and California was able to win 82-73. This one wasn't
Double
even
overtime.
It was insane. I don't know how it went double overtime, because the first overtime it seemed like California had this one in the bag, and during actual regulation it seemed like Virginia Tech had this one in the bag, and then California was able to take it, and then let's just punch our ticket. Let's just put our names on the board. Everybody's so happy to just win these early games. Notre Dame. Remember Strewberry, Joe? Remember him knocking over his mic, being so pissed off because his team was so bad?
Yeah, you don't want to, don't get on the bus now. Like, that guy. Yep. Strewberry. Yep.
55 or the
Pacer
54.
Strewberry
Was able to win against the Panthers of Pittsburgh. I mean, whenever Tennessee holds a team under 60, we are jumping, we are screaming, we are thinking that was the most amazing competitive defensive battle I've ever seen. Watching Notre Dame do it against Pittsburgh, it seemed like
the Notre Dame football team just scoring maybe 14 points and winning against, I don't know, some random ACC squad. In this case, it's, of course, the Pittsburgh Panthers.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah, what's
because,
up?
And again, you're going through this, and I'm sitting and you just naming some of these teams is making me want to go to sleep. And so I wanted to start thinking about this because in the chat just a few seconds ago, which you can hop in at WZZN TV. If you aren't able to call it 256-576-977. We got the question from Brandon about, he goes, I propose a trade. We take Duke in the SEC tournament. We send South Carolina or Texas A&M to the ACC tournament and see who gets further. Okay.
It's a random lot of teams, honestly, because you're talking about the best team in the form of Duke, and then South Carolina. What was the other one?
And Texas A&M. Just
Texas A&M.
No. And so I wanted to go a step further with this because I'm actually curious now as how many SEC teams, if we were to look at them as a whole and we start going that one,
yeah,
could make it to at least the semifinal round. I mean, if they started on the
ACC
tournament, if they started on Tuesday and they're playing in the Tuesday games that the ACC is currently having, if they are playing in those, how many SEC schools could make it to at least the semifinals? Now, the reason I say at least the semifinals is because there are 3 teams in the SEC or in the ACC that are ranked in the top 15. Obviously, Duke is going to be a 1 seed. Louisville is 13th in the country, and Clemson is 10th. Outside of that, you have everybody else below them is about 13 and 7 and that around that kind of range when it comes to their it's a big fall. So I start going through and I start thinking, okay, the Tuesday matchups, like you were just mentioning, the Pittsburgh and the Notre Dame. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if we put Florida, let's just use that one. Okay. If you were to put Florida in the Tuesday bracket and you said, okay, Florida, you have to go through Notre Dame, and then you also have to keep playing, and you have to go through then North Carolina and Wake Forest. Just going through those. Okay?
That's a tough one.
No, and so that would mean that if you are having to play Notre Dame, which they're the 12 seed, North Carolina is the 5 seed, and Wake Forest is the 4 seed. So those are 3 games, and only until you wouldn't get there until it would be Thursday, I believe. Yeah, Thursday would be where the quarterfinal game is. That would be the one that would determine if you're making it to the semifinals or not. Could Florida do that? Could Florida go through Notre Dame, North Carolina, and Wake Forest to get to the ACC semifinals?
With ease.
Okay.
I'm saying with ease. And also, got to take into the fact that we're taking Duke completely out of this equation, are we? Because they're getting moved to the SEC.
No. I'm not even.
Okay, you're not even going to do that?
Duke in. That's why I say the semifinals. Because at some point in time, you're going to have to play a Clemson, Louisville, or a Duke. And most likely, let's just say that would be the semifinal round.
Which all teams, respectively, have pretty amazing win streaks going into the end of the season. Thankfully, they haven't had to face each other, though.
Right. And so that's why I say that. And I put this in as this is the path that I would say is if you're sticking an SEC team in for Pitt, which is the 13th seed, and they have to go through Notre Dame, North Carolina, and Wake Forest just to get to that semifinal round, how many SEC teams do you think could do it? Because you just said Florida could.
I think definitely Florida. I mean, again, this is the second best team, maybe the best team in the country right now. If you go, I'd say you could see Missouri. Missouri would possibly get it. I look at them. I say they might drop one to North Carolina. I don't even think they'd get to the Wake Forest.
Okay.
I think that Kentucky could do this. I think that Texas A&M could do it.
Okay, so that's 3 right now that you've thought of.
And this is, I've already pretty much locked in Auburn, Tennessee, and Alabama.
Okay, so now we're at 6.
Ole Miss could find themselves slipping because I've seen that too many times this season.
Well, it's also the fact that they haven't played their best in the last couple of weeks. Yeah. So we're at 6 right now.
And
Could Arkansas, with the way that Arkansas is playing right now, with the way that they've been playing over the past couple of weeks,
Arkansas could do it. I would say there's a 65% chance that Arkansas could do it. Where's the statistics come in? Not really, but I feel like that is a good gut feeling to say that they could beat those teams.
Arkansas has won 4 of their last 5. They got absolutely obliterated in South Carolina. They lost by like 20 in that game.
Crazy.
But they've won 4 of the last 5, and 2 of those have been against ranked opponents, Missouri and Mississippi State. You have a defense that can block shots. They are not great at rebounding, oddly enough. But if you say Arkansas, then we're at 7. So now you are 1 away from half of the SEC being able to make it to at least the semifinals.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said Arkansas.
The last 2 teams that I would look at would be Vanderbilt. Oh, I'm torn between Mississippi State or Georgia because I think one of the other could do it. Mississippi State ended off the season horribly. I thought this team could be something special this year. Turned out to not be the case. Just in SEC play, these teams get too competitive. They lost more than they won. Georgia's a special team, though. I mean, there's just something. Asa Newell he's done something to this team to kind of spark them into the postseason. Now, maybe it didn't work out earlier on. I think they were still trying to fall into place. But Georgia is one of those teams that I honestly could see surprising some people. So if you do put them into the ACC tournament, hypothetically, I think they would have the last chance. I don't think Oklahoma could do it. I don't think LSU could do it. I don't think Texas could do it. And definitely not South Carolina, even though they beat Clemson earlier in the season. So I'll just, throw that out there. I just don't think they'd be consistent enough to get through this entire conference.
So did you say Missouri?
I'm going to say not Missouri. Okay. I'm going to say instead Georgia, Vanderbilt, and you said Arkansas, so we could throw Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Kentucky. So that's 7.
Texas
A&M. So that's 8.
Locked it in.
Okay, so what you're saying, and what do this little exercise, that means that 8 of the SEC's teams could at any point in time go over to the ACC tournament and at least make it to the semifinals.
At least to face off against Duke.
Okay,
let's say that because
flip it around. How many ACC teams could make it to the semifinals in the SEC tournament?
Oh gosh, to the finals.
No, yeah, let's go to the semifinals.
Okay, so just the semifinals.
Same scenario. They have got to make it to the semifinal game. Because I would say Duke. So far, there's one. I think Duke could.
You could say Duke, but again, they had that early win against Auburn, and I feel like that's all they've really shown. They keep games close. I'm not going to take anything away from Duke, and they do end up destroying the teams that they need to destroy. Okay?
I would love to see Flag play in the SEC. Like, I would genuinely enjoy a week in, week out, him going through an SEC schedule. I would have loved to see that.
It's almost like we should scatter some of these games throughout the season.
That'd be kind of cool.
Duke could do it, but it would still be tough. Clemson could do it at the point that they are now. They have an 8-win.
I think Clemson could get to the quarterfinals. Okay. I think they could get through today. I think that they could get through tomorrow, but then they would get to where they're having to play like one of the top 4 seeds.
Gotcha.
After the double buys. That I don't know if they could do.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could get through an Alabama, an Auburn, or a Tennessee with how they shoot the 3, and a Tennessee with the way they play defense.
Well, then I think we're just stuck at Duke. Because if that is a brick wall we're talking about, of 4 of the most competitive, 4 of the most physical, and just these are some of the best teams, I would say, in the country. I would say that you could hold them over even a Houston, which I think is arguably a little bit better than Duke. I'm just going to say that.
You think Houston is better than Duke?
I think that they've shown in the postseason that they can play a little bit better ball, at least in the 2020s.
Okay, so now and this is why I bring up like a North Carolina, because one thing that we talk about with Alabama and even with Kentucky is that they have one of the best scoring offenses in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina is second in the ACC in scoring. They're averaging over 81 points a game, but they have one of the worst defenses in the ACC as well, because they're also allowing about 76 points a game. So North Carolina can score a lot of points, but could they be the team that is able to actually win and get all the way there? Because they are also in the, we'll just say the top half of the ACC when it comes to 3-point shooting. But again, they also give up a lot of threes a game.
Alabama loves those threes.
It's almost, are we not sitting here talking about like literally like Alabama right now? Like outside of the win-loss record, if you just start looking at the generalization of some of the overall stats, and well, again, let's put the blank resume up, and let's, if you didn't think this was team A and you didn't think this was team B, you're going, wait a second. Like SMU loves to shoot the three.
And I love
it.
I love the way they play. Like overall, I love the way that they play. I mean, I got to see them quite a few times throughout the year, and against that one against Miami, it was just like everything was hitting right. And it even got to the point where the entire arena was just no fans at all, because that's just what SMU was able to do. It was just nonstop, methodical 3-pointers were hitting. It just seemed like that's what the team at its peak could be. SMU would be another team. I think you could even skip over possibly a Louisville in that instance. I think SMU is also a really good team.
Duke right now talking about how they could probably make it to I would say Duke can make it to the semifinals. Right now, Duke.
Who would they go through? It's the question. Because Alabama would maybe be the likely shot if they were going to go through any team, and that's just who can outscore who at that point.
See, now I would actually turn it around and say that they could go through Tennessee because of how well Tennessee, if they aren't shooting the three, which is a massive part of the game. Like I look at Duke, and so talking about the 3-point shoot and everything for them, they lead the ACC in 3-point shooting. They also have one of the best 3-point shooting defenses in the ACC. Yeah. So that goes into, okay, well then that means that they're going to be stopping the teams that do shoot threes a lot. So that means that they're going to stop a Kentucky. They would be trying. I wouldn't say that they're going to stop Alabama from shooting the three, but they're going to try to slow it down. Auburn would be interesting because recently Auburn has been shooting more from the outside, even Janai Broom, than what he has been on the inside, because again, the man's only scoring like 7 or 8, maybe 9 points a game. And so he's not even shooting down low as much as what he has been in the past. And then you do start looking at your Missouris and your Floridas and those types of teams. What's wild is Duke so far this year has made 322 3-pointers themselves. If that was in the SEC, where would they be ranked?
I'd say 4th.
They would be tied for 1st with Alabama.
Ooh, okay.
That's why when you brought up the Alabama part of that, is going, okay, could Duke right now, if Duke and Alabama played on a neutral court, which one's winning?
Then I'm going Alabama, because I think that they're closest to Kentucky in the way that they play, and we saw it earlier. And I'm not just going off of that. I'm also going off of the amount of points that this Duke team does allow per game. It's a good defense, but you got to think about the teams that they have been playing. They have not been playing Kentucky's. They have not been playing the Alabamas. If they were, I don't think we'd see a top 10 defense in all of the country in points allowed scoring, because it's sitting right here at 61.4. You know damn well if they were in the SEC, they would be allowing probably a consistent 70 to 80 a game. All right. So then they would probably be a little bit more of the middle of the pack when it comes to the ACC. So I could see them getting the best of Tennessee. Now, you broke it down for me. It would be a low-scoring game. I do think that Duke would get a win, probably 64 to maybe 59.
So the best 3-point defense in the ACC right now is Wake Forest. They are the best at guarding around the arc. They only allow a little over 30.5% of the 3-pointers against them. 30.5. if Wake Forest's 3-point defense was in the SEC, where would it be ranked? Just guessing.
4th. I'm riding with the 4.
8th. They would be middle.
6.
The best 3-point defense in the ACC would be middle of the road in the SEC.
That's a good comparison there.
Alabama and Kentucky both are only allowing 30.4% of 3-pointers shot against them to go in. Tennessee has the best 3-point shooting defense, which would be an interesting matchup with them and Duke, because number one defense versus especially number one 3-point shooting defense against the way that Duke plays. But I do think that Duke could do it. Could Wake Forest, could Clemson. I would say right now, honestly, I only think one team could do it. I only think one ACC team could make it to the semifinals in the SEC tournament.
And they'd have to get through Tennessee.
And they would most likely have to get through Tennessee. If it was Duke and Alabama playing each other, that could be a game where the final score was 93-91 and it was in overtime. Like, that's kind of the type of game that you would probably see between those two teams if they were to meet.
It's just hard to gauge where Duke's truly at within the country, just because the SEC is such an outlier. And I feel like that's any team in the entire country. But we want to know your opinions. 256-576-9777, as well as over on WZZN TV, where you can hop into the chat box. Joe, turns out some people still don't know about WZZN TV. Tell them what they can listen to, what they can see over on our YouTube page.
It's actually a lot. As a matter of fact, you not only get every single show, that's also where you can catch the Havoc Hour from last night. If you did happen to miss that, we had Reggie, we had Matt Allen, who joined us back on the team, which was interestingly enough, because if 2 weeks ago, this man wasn't even on the team. The last time we did the Havoc Hour, he was still up in Maine dodging moose. That's kind of where he was.
Did you ask him any questions about Maine?
I did ask him a couple, and I asked him some off the air as well, just when we were sitting around just BSing. And I can't remember which ones I asked on the air and off the air, because we had various conversations on and off.
Yeah.
That I'm sitting here going, wait a second, I can't remember if I actually asked that one during the Havoc Hour or if it was just when we were all, during a commercial break and getting everything set back up or anything like that. So, cool things. We found out about Reggie and the t-shirt and where the design came from, who designed it. We found everything about the Cole Reginato t-shirt that you can get at the Havoc store. Oh, wait, correction. You can only get at the Havoc store now if you're a kid, because all the adult ones are sold. I know I went to buy one yesterday because I was going to wear it. Reggie was going to be on the show. I was like, that'd be great.
I love how all the adults were the ones that bought them up.
All the adult ones there. I went through the store yesterday. There's none in the store. There's some kid ones, but there's none for the adults left anymore. So we asked him about that. We talked to him about obviously going down, playing Birmingham, the rivalry, all of that. Matt Allen may have given the answer of the year with one question. I'm sitting here trying to joke on the man, and the man gives one of the most amazing answers to, if I had to give you 15 minutes to talk about any topic that was not hockey, what would you talk about? His answer was absolutely tremendous. And so that is on the Havoc Hour as well. If you happen to miss that last night, you can go to WZZN TV and watch it there.
There you go. You're setting them up for it. Either way, we got to hit a break. When we come back, close out the first hour, preview the second, and get into more of the fun to come here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and ESPN Winchester.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
SEC tournament gets underway today at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Georgia. 3.5-point favorite over Oklahoma. South Carolina plus 4.5 against Arkansas. It's Mississippi State laying 8.5 against LSU. And Vanderbilt a 1.5 favorite over Texas. Auburn the favorite to win the tournament title at plus 150. They have a double bye into the quarterfinals on Friday. Alabama also with a double bye. They are plus 425. Conference USA quarterfinal today. Jacksonville State laying 7.5 against Florida International. 132.5 to total. FIU upset Western Kentucky yesterday. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's truck month. No payments for 90 days on 24 and 25 models of F-150, Ranger, Maverick, Super Duty, and Lightning. We've got over 220 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Great deals on Bronco, Bronco Sport, Expedition, and Explorer 2. Come check those out. But right now at Woody Anderson Ford, you can drive a 2024 F-150 XLT Hybrid for as little as $339 a month. $339 for an F-150. That's a 36-month lease with 6448 do-it signing, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, title, and your good credit. This offer ends 3/31/25. Call us at 539-9441 for complete details. Over 220 F-150s and nearly 50 Rangers and Maverick pickups to choose from, all with great sales incentives and zero payments for 90 days. Woody Anderson Ford, we hope to see you soon.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 977 ESPN The Zone.
You know who is sailing on a boat right now?
What are you saying?
The Czar, Tom Abraham. I miss the big dog. I'm going to be honest. He's catching fish, so he's definitely happy. Either way, welcome back into the Blitz. Joe, I know you have some info about the Tennessee Titans that you want to get out there,
I have
bro.
some sadness. Some sadness.
Oh, there's a lot of sadness going on, Joe, so just kind of get over it.
No,
I got
it's
Kenny
not.
Pickett as a starter quarterback for going on next year right now.
You know who like the most beloved player on the team was last year?
For the Titans?
There were two.
Nick Brooks-Akine.
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Yeah, that guy.
That's one. Death, taxes, and NWI, man. It didn't matter. I don't care what was going on. That man was scoring touchdowns.
Ladies love the long ball.
Every single time. It's like, I don't know who's going to score this one. Oh, look, it's NWI.
Didn't have any other receptions other than those touchdown receptions.
That was it. Literally it. He was like the Robert Horry of touchdown receptions for the Titans last year. Yesterday, he signed with the Dolphins. I'm glad that he did. Like, I love that he's finally getting paid what he deserves, because it doesn't matter what wide receivers the Titans brought in over the past few years. NWI somehow always found himself in the end zone, on the field, doing something. Yeah. It was just, he was always there. So reliable, but he gets a deal with the Dolphins. That sucked. Then we find out that arguably the leg, Ryan Stonehouse, a punter, Titans are not going to re-sign him. And so now he's a free agent. Do you not know? I mean, this man is absolutely amazing in punting the football. He's gone. And then D-Hop signs with the Ravens with Derrick Henry.
He's chasing that ring.
No, he is chasing the ring. D-Hop wants a ring.
I did not want to see that. I'm going to be honest with you.
He is whoring himself out for the ring. You don't want to see it because it puts him in your division. But but
why do these teams keep getting better, Joe?
He's not the same receiver that he was. No. He just wants the ring, though.
But you know he's going to help the Ravens out. Same way we're going to see the Steelers continue to be decent and possibly get Aaron Rodgers.
The Titans did just sign Van Jefferson, $2.5 million, 1-year deal. It's literally like that's nothing. It's a body.
What do you do for the Rams? You know,
can't believe Stonehouse and NWI.
You'll get over it.
Dang it.
Tuscaloosa, we live by the blue collar basketball motto.
Stepping back, deep three.
Hard work.
2-on-1. Driving, stepping through. Shot, got it to go.
Teamwork.
Playing the song for the champions of the Southeastern Conference.
Join us for every game right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you trying to find a new house? Are you trying to find the right loan? The right people to do your loan? Look no further than the Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green. John Kendall, the Vice President of Mortgage with me. John, when they need a loan, and I say they, when people need a loan, it's about them.
That's right, Scott. Our whole motto is it's all about you. We're going to be okay. You're the one making the investment. We want to make sure that you're taken care of.
How do they find you?
Give us a call at 256-507-9180, or they can catch us online at bankoffrankewing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green, where they take the home loan to you and they make it all about you. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDI insured bank as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, Savings Never Tasted So Good. Click on that, then enter in the big zone deal store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
SEC tournament gets underway today at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Georgia. 3.5-point favorite over Oklahoma. South Carolina plus 4.5 against Arkansas. It's Mississippi State laying 8.5 against LSU. And Vanderbilt a 1.5 favorite over Texas. Auburn the favorite to win the tournament title at plus 150. They have a double bye into the quarterfinals on Friday. Alabama also with a double bye. They are plus 425. Conference USA quarterfinal today. Jacksonville State laying 7.5 against Florida International. 132.5 to total. FIU upset Western Kentucky yesterday. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham with you today as we are now a little under 2 hours away from the SEC basketball tournament starting up in Nashville, as you're going to be able to listen to every single game on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. South Carolina and Arkansas get this thing going here in just a little bit. I believe we also have some SPHL hockey going on right now.
Turns out we do.
Yes, we have some SPHL hockey as Fayetteville and Roanoke are playing this morning, and right now Fayetteville is up 2-1 on Roanoke, which is great because nobody is beating Roanoke at the moment. So it'd be kind of awesome to actually see that. I found out just a few seconds ago because we were talking about NWI signing with the Dolphins over the Titans and how much that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
2 years, $6.5 million deal. It's coming out now that he had basically the exact same offer from the Titans and he chose to go the Dolphins instead.
It's warm. It's Miami.
It's because they win.
And they also win.
Yeah. It's because they're winning.
Yeah. By the way, Joe, does it matter at this point to be fit for football? Do you think for the NFL, if your quarterback's a little bit pudgy, maybe like, how Mac Jones had those pictures coming out whenever
Mac Jones is always pudgy.
Okay, maybe like a Tua Tagovailoa. How about that? Because the picture did come out recently of him, and he honestly did not look like the stereotypical football player, looking a little bit more jacked. He was actually looking a little bit wider.
Like muscle-wise?
Yes.
Okay, well then, yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
No muscle.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, if it's muscle-wise, then it's a bit okay. Because look, at this time of year, you have to look at a football season very similar to the way that you look at if you've ever done like training for a competition or anything like that. You bulk up and you continue to bulk up, and then there's going to be a point in time where you then have to start like cutting fat and, and leaning out the muscle and that sort of thing.
Very nice.
And so what happens is you have to build up that muscle mass, which is what's going to keep you safe. And then what you then have to do is the closer you get to OTAs, or I should say probably more like mandatory mini camp, once you start getting the training camp, then you start to like drop the weight that you're needing to drop so that you're set going into training camp.
Exactly.
I wouldn't think that big of a deal about that now, because I would expect you to be bulking up right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So any of those wacky Facebook news reporters out there, just take a seat for a second.
Those are some oxymorons if there was one. Facebook and news reporters.
Let's just calm down.
Sidebar.
Don't post about any of that. But by the way, that is going to be Westbrook Akine's new quarterback. So
is anybody else not annoyed with this right here? Star quarterback of NFL franchise. You won't believe how he looks now. Picture in comments. The link in comments.
No, we hate that.
So annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want to click on your dumb link. Just say what it is and let's get out of this thing. That's all I care about.
I agree.
I'm not going to click on your dumb link that's going to send me to a stupid website that's going to have 35 pop-ups just so that I could see a picture of Tua bulking up.
Yeah. Don't make us go into a rabbit hole of Facebook groups and Facebook things that happen that make us pissed, because a lot of them do. I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. But while we're talking about some of these contracts, I do want to throw out this to you, because I know you're a baseball guy. You're itching to talk a little bit more baseball. You're even rocking the Braves shirt.
I am. This is one of the few Brave shirts that I have, not because I don't love them, because their gear for the most part's awful.
Yeah.
Kind of like Auburn's.
But you know what? Their coverage isn't awful, and you're going to be able to listen to it on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. But have you seen Vladimir Guerrero's offer to be on a team? It's similar to Juan Soto. He threw out the $500 million mark, and I just too much money for a baseball player. Do you think?
Oh, I never think that is too much money for any baseball player. I don't think it's too much money. I mean, seriously, like if you can make it and you can make an argument that you're worth it, bro,
sky's the limit. I guess
you absolutely need to be doing that. Look, here's the thing about Vlad. And I know people are going, look, he plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. There's no reason why a guy playing for the Blue Jays on a team that's always third or fourth in the division is going to be worth that money. Mm-hmm. Not only did he hit 30 home runs last year, he batted 323.
He's consistent.
It's not like he's batting 240 and he's hitting 45 home runs. The man is batting 323. He had an OPS of 940 last year. Like, it is amazing at how good of a player he is. He can play first. He can play third. You could have him DHing. You could have him doing 6 or 7 different positions if you were potentially wanting to. Like, his ability to not only be a solid fielder, but also be able to hit as well as he does. I'm not talking about just for power. I'm talking about being able to hit as hard as he can and have a high batting average is extremely impressive.
All right. Well, definitely going to keep an eye on this story, because that's the number he's throwing out, possible 13-year contract. I don't know, man. He's 25 years old. I think he definitely has the ability to be one of those top players, which he's already there. But one of those top paid players is a little bit of a different story. But just some thoughts to throw out there. $500 million. It's possible that he could get this contract going into 2025.
Now, for the money side of this, I know that people are going to question that. Like, okay, why are you spending this much money? Well, one, this is how baseball is in 2025. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're going to get a star player, this is what you have to pay.
Juan Soto, Aaron Judge. I mean, these are just two of the guys that, look, as of recent.
And if you're Toronto, you're wanting to pay this now instead of waiting. Because if he goes out and has another, say he bats 310, hits 46 home runs, has an OPS over 1,000, you're going to be paying even more because the market is going to demand that.
And let's be real, Joe, $35 million a year is not that bad, because it's going to stretch across 14 if this is what he wants.
Here's the important part for it, and as I'm looking right now, here's the important part. 123, 60, 161, 160, 156, 159. Those are the number of games that he played in every single year. The 60 was 2020, where there were only 60 games. Outside of his first season where he only played in 120 something, and if I go back to that first thing, I honestly want to say the only reason he played in 123 games was because he got brought up late because of the whole, hey, we're going to bring you up late so we have one extra year on your contract, that whole thing. He has been in the lineup every single day.
Consistency.
Health has not been an issue for him yet. Again, 25. Health has never been an issue for him. It's an investment that you want to make sure that you're going to, because I promise you, if he doesn't get it there, now that the Yankees don't have the beard shaving policy, he can go there. And they'll definitely give him the money.
They got the money.
Somehow the Dodgers will find the money. They always do. We don't know where they find it. I think they just get it from other teams, but they can find the money to pay for it.
I think people pay him.
Also, congratulations to Janai Broom, because he just picked up yet another National Player of the Year award, as it was just announced just a little while ago that he is the Sporting News National Player of the Year. So
when's he going to be the Dr. Pepper Player of the Year?
Whenever he can throw with two hands into that hole during halftime.
Yeah.
That's going to be it. Also, our favorite coach over at West Alabama has made yet another signing.
No way. Is it an Alabama player?
Scott Cochran, the head coach at West Alabama, has signed another former Alabama player to be a coach at West Alabama.
Drum roll, please.
The new director of player development for West Alabama. Any guesses?
No guesses.
OJ Howard.
Former tight end. Absolute beast.
OJ Howard is just signed a deal. He is now going to begin his coaching career at West Alabama for Scott Cochran.
Wow. You know, I feel like he should still be in the NFL, but I also think the same thing about a guy like Delaney Walker.
Look,
the years fly by with these tight ends.
No, and
bro.
I'm telling you, OJ Howard and Kyle Pitts, you guys can just do the Spider-Man meme right now, because if Kyle Pitts doesn't start getting the football or getting open, he's going to go the way of OJ Howard, because OJ Howard had all of the ability in the world to be a great tight end in the NFL. And I don't know what the reason was, because I know work ethic wise, he was absolutely an amazing worker, but something just never clicked with him in Tampa or anywhere else. Don't know why. Body frame was there. I don't know what it was for him that just never clicked in the NFL, but that's kind of where Kyle Pitts is right now for the Falcons.
Oh, it better start working for Kyle Pitts, because people want him on their fantasy bad. But OJ Howard, that's definitely an interesting pickup. He was probably, I would say he's probably one of the best tight ends in Alabama history. I can easily say that. He was a part of the best teams.
No. You could probably say he is the best.
Yeah.
Mainly because the tight end position wasn't really utilized that much, even in football, up until probably a decade ago.
Oh.
So yeah, it's pretty easy to say that he probably is the greatest tight end ever played at Alabama.
It's definitely a conversation starter. 256-576-9777. We still got a lot of basketball talk to get into. We kind of want to make our predictions on the SEC tournament, possibly even get into the ACC tournament, just because I know, Joe.
We could probably make it to the semifinals of the ACC tournament. Like literally, John and myself could probably make it.
And the church group that we play basketball with?
Yeah, look, we just go 3-on-3 hoop it up. It's just like we used to do over at the Joe Davis Stadium. Just go do hoop it up.
Terry, I got a really cool opportunity for us.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't know if you're busy this weekend, but they need another team in the ACC tournament. You want to go roll? You want to roll?
Tell the wife you're going on a fishing trip.
Yeah. We're fishing for Blue Devils. So Austin asked us this question about how he goes, who do you think is going to win the ACC and the SEC basketball tournament? I want to take that to another level, though.
Let's do it.
I want a bold prediction. I want you to just slap it on the table and just say, this is what I'm wanting.
And you got to have a reasoning behind it too.
Yeah, no, you're not just doing crazy
you can't
things.
Just say it. That's
Georgia,
not what this show's about.
It's going to be 2008 all over again. Georgia's going to run the table.
Why though? Why?
Exactly.
Because we can't do that. Right now, though, in the ACC, the tournament odds, Duke is minus 325. Louisville plus 450. Clemson plus 550.
Why is it every time you just mention the ACC tournament, I automatically get
I know,
sleepy?
you look like you get tired.
I mean, the moment you mention
it's like
it,
counting sheep, isn't it?
I mean, it genuinely is. If you have a child right now and they are struggling with sleep apnea, you can help them out by just talking about the ACC tournament.
North Carolina is plus 2,200.
It's more effective than actually counting sheep. It's more effective than reading Llama Llama for the 700th time.
It's like a plateau, all right? It's just such a steep drop-off from the first three to that fourth team.
Are you a parent right now that has a child that cannot sleep in their own room? Threaten them with the ACC tournament. If you get into this room, we will turn the ACC tournament on. If you want it to get even worse, we will put on the Big 12 tournament and make you stare at the basketball court the entire time until you go cross-eyed. How would that make you feel? You may want to sleep in your own bed tonight.
Or maybe we'll just play some ads. We'll be right back.
No.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well, try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Listen to UAH Charger basketball all season long.
So when we came out of the timeout, Coach Hedge had initially called a man play, and they ended up faking a zone. So the whole bench was yelling zone, zone, zone. So we tried to switch the play last second. We ended up getting confused. So Tommy swung it to me, and I initially was like, all right, I'm going to try and get to the rim right here. We're only down 2. We don't need a 3. And he flipped his hips real hard, and I crossed it back, and as soon as I let it go, I knew it was in.
Campbell to plug it in. 81-79 Union. Inbounds it goes. Dribbling it out from Tommy Murr. Swings it over to Campbell. Campbell on the wing for the lead. Oh, my God! Blake Campbell! It's a 3! Into the front court for the win! No good! No good! No good! Blake Campbell with some onions from Jackson, Tennessee!
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
Do you know how difficult it is to try to scroll through a television when you're trying to get to the U's? I mean,
Type in a number, Joe.
No, I can't. I'm not typing it in. There are no numbers. It's in alphabetical order.
Well, that's lame.
So I'm having to scroll all the way down just to try to get to you because we have a basketball game that's about to start at 10:30, and it's on USA Network. There it is.
Which one are you getting?
Richmond and Davidson in the A10 tournament.
You're just trying to find something,
Just
aren't you?
randomly, and now apparently I've got to watch Law and Order for the very first time, at least for the next 15 minutes until this game starts.
Well, it's all good. It's better than watching the ACC tournament. Look, okay, so
do not give me more melatonin.
I'm not gonna.
The moment you mentioned the ACC tournament,
no.
I automatically almost fall asleep.
Do you want us to go through the ACC tournament and predict a winner, or do you want us to start with the SEC?
No, screw the ACC tournament. It's going to be Duke. Okay, now let's go ahead and go.
I mean, it's true. I
Discuss.
mean, there really is nothing to discuss about that.
The ACC tournament is just like watching women's basketball through majority of the 90s and 2000s. Like you can predict what's going to happen in every single game.
I mean, even in the SEC, I feel like you could throw out 4 teams that you're like, yeah, it's going to be between these guys. And it might not be. Who knows? I mean, it could fall down to some team getting hot at the right point, and Texas A&M could take it all. Or, if we wanted to get even crazier, almost like how we saw, I think, yesterday with Delaware, as well as who was the team that they're playing? UNCW?
Wilmington. It's UNC Wilmington.
Okay.
Yep.
Whenever they were playing up against that was a 12 versus a 2 seed possibly. And, well, we almost saw Delaware win the game. And it was actually a really good one all the way to the end. And I actually did get it right. UNCW, huh? It was my first time watching UNCW. It was my maybe 8th time altogether watching Delaware. So that's how it kind of went for that. But you can still get these types of games. Again, the one that I historically like to throw out and a lot of people like to promote is that NC State game, or the NC State team that won the ACC championship last year after not having the best of regular seasons. But Joe, I'm going to go to you first. What is your bold prediction, and who might win this SEC tournament that starts on 97.7?
So I'm going to spin this around once again, is make this the first question of the Cover 5.
I'm just dizzy now.
No, good. You should be.
Oh, it is the Cover 5.
Yeah. See, now I'm just going to make this the very first question of the Cover 5, because it is, if you could give a bold prediction for the SEC tournament, what do you think that bold prediction is going to be? What's bad is mine could literally get landmined here in the next 2 hours. I mean, it genuinely can. This is how the NCAA tournament works. I bet right now that this team is going to the Final Four, and then they play the very first game on the very first day.
Damn it!
And they lose, and your bracket's already screwed.
Oh,
okay?
That happened last year for me.
That is what I'm talking about. And so let me look. I got to look up the bracket real fast just so that I don't screw myself over with what I'm about to say right now.
Okay, Matthew, he's throwing in the chat already. He's got his winners. If you guys are watching on WZZN TV, throw your winners in for the SEC, ACC tournaments, because those are the ones that we care about here in the South. And if you are named Wolverine Dan or are a fan of the Big Ten, go ahead and chuck them in or call in 256-576-97.7. Joe, what are you getting kind of wide?
So I'm changing mine because the bold prediction I had is not going to benefit me in what I think is actually going to happen.
Were you going to say Arkansas?
I was going to say that I think Arkansas makes it to the championship. So I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to take that out. If I have a bold prediction, I'm going to say that Missouri is going to make it to the semifinals.
That's funny.
They're going to make it to Saturday.
Okay. At least just the semifinals.
Just the semifinals.
So you think they're going to be able to beat Florida?
I think they're going to beat either Mississippi State or LSU, and then I think they're going to beat Florida, and then they will be in the semifinals.
Missouri they're a fast team, and don't let them fool you, because that win against Alabama was pretty assertive. I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Florida in all reality. But if I'm making a bold prediction, if I got to make one bold prediction, Missouri's going to make it to the semifinals.
You know what?
I was going to say Arkansas, but then they have to go through Auburn, and no. So,
gotcha.
Especially after the way that last game happened. So I'm going to say that Missouri is going to make it there. If I wanted to throw another one out, I would have said Texas A&M will make it to the semis.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to go even bolder. Shout out to Colorado. I'm going to say Mississippi State is going to win it.
Good heavens.
Maybe not win it. I'll do what you just said.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm sticking with them. I'm sticking with the dogs to the semifinals.
That ledge
Joe,
is not
it could
that
happen.
strong. I don't know if that ledge can hold that up. I mean, again, you're not that heavy, but I don't know if that ledge can hold that up.
Joe, I think Mizzou is going to lose against Mississippi State. And why do I think that? I think Mississippi State's going to get hot at the right time. I think they're going to get momentum from beating the crap out of LSU. Then they're going to go on face off against a better ranked Mizzou team and just not take them apart. But I think they're going to dictate the pace, and Josh Murphy is going to have a historical game. This is what they call a bold prediction.
No, that's absolutely the definition of a bold
They're
prediction.
going to continue on with this momentum after just totally tearing apart Missouri in the way that they want to be fast on offense. They're going to take it to Florida. And you know what? Florida's going to get ahead by a pretty big lead. But I remember back before we get into SEC play, Mississippi State beat a really good Memphis Tigers team. All right. And if I could maybe equate one team to Florida, I think I would throw that Memphis Tigers team into the hat. And I think they're going to be able to surprise the Gators, even though the Gators are ready for them because they just saw Mississippi State was able to hang with two teams in a row, which is going to be tough. I think any team that wins 2 in a row is going to be on the radar. And Mississippi State's going to move on to the semifinals and then get absolutely shellacked by the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Matt in the chat says that Ole Miss goes on a heater. That's his bold prediction.
Ole Miss.
Then Ole Miss would have to be, they're going to have to either beat Arkansas or South Carolina. That's going to be the first game that's coming up here in a little over an hour. They would then have to beat Auburn. And then they would have to beat whoever's in the semifinals, most likely a Tennessee.
I'm not saying anything bad about Ole Miss, but it's crazy. This is the state of the SEC, how Ole Miss is ranked 2 spots higher than Mississippi State. And Mississippi State won, I think, both of the games against Ole Miss this season.
So that's okay. So there's some bold predictions.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Now, first, here is our next question. Does tie into the SEC basketball tournament. So say right now there is a genie somewhere and he says that I can give you tickets to any tournament in the world, any tournament. What tournament would you pick?
Mortal Kombat.
What? No, not you can't go to Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Do we have a sounder
It's
here,
like
Joe?
going to Bloodsport. Like nobody knows where Bloodsport takes place. Like you've got to get tapped on the shoulder and you've got to get the special invite card just to get into Bloodsport. Okay. Jean-Claude Van Damme couldn't even remember how to get into that place. He had to get the big ogre guy to take him.
He did.
I mean, they're
what was his name, Joe? What was his name? Come on, you played plenty of Mortal Kombat.
What you talking about? Which one? Johnny Cage?
No, the big ogre guy.
No,
With the
Bloodsport is an
forearms.
actual gore. Yeah.
Good job.
No, I know my Mortal Kombat history. No, look, I have actually read like the history of all the different characters. Okay.
Okay.
And no, Mortal Kombat and Bloodsport are two totally different
separate
things.
yeah.
Mortal Kombat is basically what Bloodsport. It was based on the movie Bloodsport.
Goro.
Yeah, Goro. That's it, not Gore.
Thank you,
Goro.
Matthew.
But yeah, that's the game. Mortal Kombat was based on the movie Bloodsport.
Okay,
with
that-
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
All right.
It's an amazing movie, by the way. Have you never seen that? Happens in
Bloodsport?
Yeah, Bloodsport.
No, I don't
happens
think I have.
in. I want to say like I want to say the fight happens like in Hong Kong or something like that. And you have to go to like this secret arena, and it's like the next competitors are, and you look up at this board, then their names just like fly up onto the board.
I saw a similar movie to this, but it was to do with like table tennis.
No, that was a parody about that game. Yes.
I didn't know.
You're talking about Balls of Fury.
It was Balls of Fury. There you
Yes.
go.
It's sad I've even seen that one as well.
It's a parody of Bloodsport?
Basically, the premise is the same. It is
Oh
an
my
underground fight competition. In that movie, it's an underground ping pong competition.
That's hilarious.
That you can only be invited to, and you've got to get like a special request. Yes, it is Mortal Kombat is what Bloodsport was.
You know what? Brandon threw out a very good question. All right. UAH is in D2, and they're also in this bracket. Did we throw out the what
Why do we not have a D2 tournament bracket pick 'em?
I don't know.
Because you don't know 95% of the teams.
That's what makes it fun, though. Brandon actually had a really good idea. Okay, you put $1 on every single game because it's really just like flipping a freaking coin. He could explain it better to you if he calls in 256-576-4977. What's your favorite? No. We still got to talk about the tournament. What's your favorite tournament?
No, yeah. So what tournament? If you could go watch every single game, it doesn't matter what the tournament is.
Okay,
just that it's real and not Mortal Kombat. Besides, you don't want to be in the splash zone at Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, here it gets messy and there's bones. Then I wouldn't do March Madness just because it is a lot of basketball.
There's a lot of basketball games.
If I'm watching every single one of them, I feel like the perfect amount would be the NHL national finals, like the the Four Nations. There you go. There's the Four Nations.
The Four Nations.
You could watch every single one of those games, and you'd still have a little bit of time during the weekend to enjoy the rest of your, I don't know, vacation. So I would do the Four Nations thing because that seems like it's absolutely balling. Well, pucking.
Oh God, that was close. I mean, that was close. So you pick that tournament. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go something totally random that I would never probably normally say on the radio station.
This isn't a random question. This is a question where you're saying the tournament you want to go to the most.
No. You know what it would be?
What?
It'd be the World Cup.
Are we talking about golfing or are we talking about tennis?
Literally neither of those. We're talking the only World
soccer.
Cup. Yes.
Okay.
No, why on earth would I? No.
Tennis World Cup is amazing.
No, I didn't even know tennis had a World Cup. I'm talking about the men's World Cup because I would never choose to go to that on my own. But I know that if I got over there, picked a team, most likely USA.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be there that long.
Italy.
But it would be, I know that I would get into it. It would be totally different than if it was one of these things that I knew I was going to love, like the Stanley Cup playoffs or the Major League Baseball playoffs, something like that. Something I knew I would just enjoy every second of. Get me into a tournament that I would never, ever think about going to on my own and see if I could actually get into it. And by the end of it, I'm coming back and I'm just like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened before in the history of man. Like, I don't understand why more people in the world don't know this. See, even on the chat, people are saying that they would be choosing the soccer
It
team.
wouldn't be bad. I see where you're coming from. And if you got free tickets to it, it would be an enjoyable
Tell you
time.
which one I'm not doing is that mid-season tournament the NBA has. That thing is dumb.
I wouldn't go even if they gave me tickets and also a hotel room.
Honestly, I would probably show up to the wrong game on the wrong day because I have no idea what days the games are playing.
I just wear glasses because the courts are so bright, and then I could just fall asleep. Because I don't think there's a lot of
It'll be like
cheering.
melatonin. Watching that tournament is just like watching the ACC tournament.
Soccer is amazing, especially whenever you go and visit like Florida or some tropical area.
Out of all the places in the world, you said Florida, not London, not the United Kingdom, none of the places where like the Premier League is. Let's go to Florida.
Joe, I don't travel like crazy. All right. I only stick around this area for the time being.
You're like Elvis. You're just never going overseas.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, you're never, ever going out of America. He just didn't do it because of that. No. 256-576-977.
Got Josh on with us. Josh, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Oh, man, the World Cup is definitely an awesome one, and I would love to go to that. But I also would say the Masters, only because I probably could never afford to go. So I would take the Masters.
That's true. No, that's probably. Would you be one of the guys that like follows a golfer around, or would you be one of the guys that you set up at a hole and you're just there for the entire day?
Posted.
I don't think I could do the posted thing. I would definitely hope for maybe Tiger or somebody to do one more round, and I would, probably follow him for the day.
No.
See, I think the first day I was there, if I was doing where all the walkways have not been paved with dirt because everybody's walked across them, like, that section, I think the first day I would probably follow a golfer around. And then I think that after I did that and I found out just how long of a day that actually is, I think then for the rest of the tournament, I would probably post up somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'd probably be exhausted after that. So, yeah, I might find me a good posting spot like on the 18th hole. That way you can watch it finish out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you get there at like 3 a.m. or whenever the doors open just so that you could get right there up against the line. And you just post up and say, I am not moving from this spot until 7 o'clock tonight, whenever the final golfer comes through.
And you ain't lying. You probably would have to be there at 3 a.m. to get that spot.
Genuinely, I am curious. Like we joked about like the running of the Gumps that they used to show like on AL.com whenever Alabama would do the player autographs and you would see them running across Bryant-Denny. I would love to see the actual like what people do to get into position for the 18th hole at the Masters, like how early they have to get there and what it looks like to get to that spot.
Oh, there's no telling. There's no telling.
Yeah. No, I
just know that it is considered the most, from what I've read online, it is considered the most expensive sporting event to attend, even over the Super Bowl.
If you can get in, though.
Yeah.
Concessions are pretty cheap.
Exactly.
Concessions are cheap, but I mean, you got to find a place to stay because all the places around Augusta, they rent them out for like Airbnbs. You would have to do like an RV thing or something like that if you could find somewhere to park your RV.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a lot to it. There probably is.
It's a good one for you, Josh, though. I think that's a great answer right there.
Hey, y'all have a good one, fellas. Love the show like always.
Hey, thanks, Josh. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And let's head back into the phone lines. We got Mac on with us. Mac, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Hey, I want to second what the caller just did. I've actually been to the Masters 4 times.
Wow.
I tell people it's the greatest event I've ever been to. I stay 13 hours. I get there before the gates open up, and I stay until the last golfer's walking up 18. It is by and far the most enjoyable event I have ever gone to. You cheer for everybody, so you're not really, it's not any negative feelings. It's all wonderful, and I have I always move around. I constantly move around and just go to various holes. Again, if you're there for 13 hours, you can do a lot of things, and I usually spend about $10 eating because that's how cheap the food is.
Wow, you've been there 4 different times. Who all won on the days that you were there?
The first two, 12 and 14, were Bubba Watson.
Oh, nice.
And I went on Thursday, Friday. So that's what you want to do, in my opinion, because you get all of the golfers. It's an incredibly elite field. So they have, half of the field going off, starting off the first round, and then they have the other half starting at like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And so it just, you just see everybody. And then you get it back home and you can watch the wonderful Saturday and Sunday round, in front of your TV. Exactly. So, and that's why I have enjoyed it so much, because I get to see so much golf and I get to meet so many wonderful people. One of my favorite moments was I met a Sports Illustrated photographer, and he and I were sitting and talking, and we started saying, well, how many covers have you done? He said, I've done several hundred. And we started talking about the various covers of the magazine that he's done. And, none of us can take a cell phone in. You can't take a cell phone in. So he's got a massive camera because he's a press pass. And, you just meet wonderful people. I met Greg McElroy and his dad there, and talked with him for a long time.
That's awesome.
I saw what's Condoleezza Rice. I saw Condoleezza. I didn't talk to her, but I sat right beside her.
I understand. Yeah, if you ever stood at the 18th hole, the shot that we always see of the entire gallery that's surrounding the tee box on the 18. Did you ever stand there? Because I'd be terrified.
Well, I mean, I am always behind everybody because
Smart.
If you move around to all the other holes, the people that stay just at 18, they've got all the closest seats. So anytime that you're like me, you walk up on 18, you're standing 20 feet behind the crowd, and you can see, because of the undulation of the course, you can still see everything. But you don't want to stay at one hole. You want to walk the entire course.
I mean, absolutely. You telling us about the cell phone thing, that was my first thought, because in my head I'm going, oh, if I set up at the 18th, I could, if it gets boring, I can just put a show on my phone. I'm good. Then you go, yeah, no, you can't take your phone in. I'm thinking, God, 13 hours and I can't. I am so in trouble.
You would see, I'm old, so I don't mind not having my phone. I really view it as a wonderful thing, and I'm glad to see other people without phone checks instead of seeing people looking down at their phone.
Yeah,
That's
no
amazing.
doubt. No, Mac, we appreciate
thanks
you
for that phone call,
sharing that experience with us. That's really cool.
All right.
Hey, thanks for that. Seriously, in my head, that's what I was thinking in the beginning when he said that, you're there. He's there for 13 hours. I said, oh, if I get bored, heck, I can just watch a show on my phone. Just kind of have it in my lap while I'm sitting there. Like, oh, cool, no problem.
That's why
have
you
the earbuds in.
That's why you chose the World Cup, Joe.
Probably so. Yeah, because that's. I mean, I didn't think about it. Then when he says you can't take phones in, my first thought is, you're there for that gave me anxiety. Seriously, I think I started to get like a tingle or something.
Dude,
just like 13 hours
and it makes sense why you'd want to move around though, because it's like you want to try and start talking to people. You want to get to know everybody else's experience and how they got there in the first place. If you can't use your phone, I am not just sitting down for 13 hours. I'm not just staying in the same spot. Plus, he made a really good point. You want to kind of be safe and be behind a few meat shields that just stay at the exact same place.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand by the time you get to the one shot that we always see of the 18, where the whole gallery is around the box and you have, the lead golfer is teeing off on it. Like, okay, he's going to hit it straight.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting and I'm thinking about that guy that's, shooting a plus 25 on Friday that, knows that he's not going to make it. He's like, screw it. I'm just going to try to waylay this thing. Like, that's the guy I'm thinking of, that I'm sitting there going, I might die here. This may be where I die.
Well,
I may take a golf ball to the face.
Yeah, the percentage does go up just slightly, but I'm going to still stick with the Four Nations. You're going with the World Cup. Some of the chat's going with the Cup as well. How many other conferences?
Euro League, I see that going on there as well. Soccer was talked about. Why do you think they sell alcohol at these events? It takes your mind off the pain of your feet hurting. Look, if I didn't have my phone, I would 1,000% have to walk it. I would follow one golfer through the entire round. And then when he's done, I would just be like, peace out. And I'll go back to one and I'll follow the next golfer and just go all the way.
Joe, you gotta try and be a caddy one of these days. I've actually been a caddy for Johnstown one time.
Did you get to wear the white suit?
Oh, no, the little thing that you put over?
Yeah.
No, It wasn't that type of tournament. It was a college one. But regardless of that, we're still getting comments coming in. Joe, do you have another question? Because Brandon asked, how many other conferences do you think the top 4 SEC teams can win? It's a good question, because that takes – okay, the ACC, we already think they could win that. But all 4 teams, that's the real question. All 4 teams winning. Because you said maybe not Tennessee. But at the same time, the higher percentage of those teams would still win against the ACC.
You automatically say that they could win all the mid majors.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to put, say, Tennessee in the Sun Belt Conference tournament, I mean, they're gonna mop the floor with everybody, right? Like it's that sort of thing. So you go ahead and say all the mid majors, they're going to win those. Do you think, because we saw this last night, Gonzaga and St. Mary playing each other in the WCC tournament out in Las Vegas, could all 4 win that one? Think about it. 256-576-4977. You can hear phone calls are going off right now. We're going to continue doing this as we keep going on. Last few minutes of the Blitz as we go along here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as you continue to watch on WZZN TV. Make sure that you join us there. And don't forget, coming up in just a little bit, we have the SEC tournament getting going from Nashville. You'll be able to hear every single bit of it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
We aren't a winning school. We are a championship school, and we make legends. Join the Crimson Tide as they look to continue to rise to the top of the NCAA basketball mountain on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
I'm here with Vice President of Mortgage from Bank of Frank Ewing, John Kendall. And John, if you're hearing this commercial right now and you're thinking of getting a new house, boy, oh boy, do you guys have a deal.
We do. It's a grant. $25,000 if you're a veteran, $20,000 if you're not a veteran. This can be used for closing costs, down payments.
Very simple. All you have to do is give Bank of Frank Ewing a call at
256-507-9180.
And how long does this process take?
Oh, it'll take just a few minutes, maybe 15, 30 minutes on the phone. We'll send you a link and you fill that out in your own time. We'll approve you.
Who would not want $25,000 for a new house? John Kendall, give them the phone number and online address one more time.
256-507-9180 or at bankoffrankewing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing giving you $25,000 for a new house. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDIC insured bank as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an fighting organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 977 ESPN The Zone.
Final segment, best segment. And they're going to stretch as we get ready because we already have basketball on TV. Woo! Richmond and Davidson, a 13-12 matchup in the A10 or the A10 tournament. Don't even know what round it is. Don't care.
I think it's the first round, Joe. But you know what? Even those games are going to entice me today, okay? Because I've been waiting to get into this March Madness thing. And, of course, it's not going to be the amazingness that we're going to see during the SEC tournament that starts at 11:45 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as up on ESPN Winchester. But you still get those games that will just stick to you for a long time. And you get those performances. I mean, this is where those games come from for the VGUs or the FGCUs, all of those teams that have done insane things in the past. They come from these random little conferences. And that's why it makes it so special, is because every single one of these teams, every single one of these tournaments might have that team in it. And that's why you kind of have to stay glued to the screen, especially if you want to get that bracket correct. And, of course, the bracket challenge is coming up. So definitely keep an eye on the 97.7 socials for that so you can get in on the action.
So last segment, we got asked, so why don't y'all do a Division II national, like a bracket pool?
Name some of those teams, Joe.
So I have found this year's bracket, and I found the list of teams that are getting the automatic qualifiers, like UAH, who won the Gulf South Conference, Nova, who won the Sunshine State Conference. That is where UAH is going to be heading tomorrow. You know a couple of them. Dallas Baptist. Only reason you know them is because of college baseball. DBU is an amazing baseball program. You've probably heard of Harding at some point in time. Have you heard of Minnesota State and Moorhead?
Maybe Moorhead. I've heard Moorhead on a lot of colleges.
Yeah, Moorhead. That's a different Moorhead. That's one in Georgia.
Okay,
that's not the same.
No idea. Yeah.
Fort Hays State.
What's their mascot?
The Fort Hays State Hay Bellers. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, you're probably not far off.
Let's see what Fort Hays State. Let's see what their mascot is.
See, I wasn't gonna have you ask me the question and then not know
they're
what
the
the
Tigers.
teams are.
They're the Tigers.
Of course, they're the Tigers.
Lame.
You could have just guessed Tigers.
Cal State's Dominguez Hills.
The Tortillas.
No, okay. First off, that's racist.
No, it's not racist.
That's racist.
Where was that place at? What did you say it was?
Dominguez Hills.
Maybe I didn't mean to be racist there. All right.
They're the Toros. Okay. Their mascot actually is kind of cool. Okay.
I meant to say the Toros. It slipped out. I said Tortillas. Come on.
Point Loma. They are out of the Pacific West Conference.
Okay.
Any guesses on Point Loma over there?
The Broncos. God bless my heart.
That's probably somebody about to tell John off because he said what he said.
Are they the Broncos or what?
They are the Sea Lions. The Point Loma Sea Lions. Colorado School of Mines. Mines, not mimes. Mines, like, yes, like, you know, in the foothills of Virginia, like mine, not mimes, like I'm stuck in a glass case.
I thought you were talking about mines, like explosives.
No, not
okay.
No.
So are they the miners?
They have to be, right? Like that is
They're next to mines. That's what
they have to be
all about mining.
It is. Are they really? The Colorado Ora Diggers? What the heck is an Ora Digger?
Ora?
It's nothing but a donkey.
What?
It is a donkey.
What is this team?
I'm looking at a definition of what an Ora Digger is. Primarily refers to the nicknames of students, alumni, faculty at the Colorado School of Mines. An Ora Digger embodies the spirit. I want to know the definition of an Ora Digger. Don't give me what the mascot is.
I kind of want to know what the school's definition of the student base
No,
is.
there literally is not one. Every time you just put this up, all that comes up is yes, they're the miners. Okay, let's just go with that.
Ora. Well, they're digging
Ora
for
Diggers.
Aura. You
Yes.
know, like Kobe Bryant. He's got aura.
Southern New Hampshire. That is out of the Northeast 10 Conference.
The fishermen.
I love that the music hit like right at that point in time. No, they are the Pinmen. Basically, they're a patriot.
Who you calling Pinhead?
No, not Pinhead, Pinmen.
Ore Digger is actually, it's in Star Wars.
No,
they were
O-R-E.
MG Ore Diggers.
Not Ore Diggers, Aura Diggers. O-R-E Diggers.
That's what it is. An MG-100 Star Fortress SF-17 heavy bombers modified for mining.
They're miners.
This is the miners.
They're miners.
It's a convoluted way of saying it.
Not miners like underage. Miners like hi ho, like that.
Oh, I hear that quite a bit. Either way, the latter. Yeah. SEC basketball tournament coming up next. No Tom Abraham today, but we'll be back in 22 hours.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. And maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle. The same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
The Drive.
You know, both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making.